Hey guys, happy 2018. As you can see from behind me, I have the M3 out. I got the snow tires on it. I'm going to take it for a little ride and then get into today's topic. So let's go ahead and hop in the car and get started. So before I get into today's video, somebody had actually sent me a message asking what camera I use, and currently I'm using the iPhone X, but I also have the Canon M6, which is kind of like my, air quotes, vlogging rig, if you will. So I mean, that's what I film a lot of the in-office and kind of like walking around stuff. But for the car, I mostly use the iPhone X, and then I also have a GoPro mounted to the windshield for like driving events and stuff. So let's go ahead and head out and get into this topic. So I have the M3 on snow tires, but what's really funny is I still don't get really great traction. I guess that's just, rear-wheel drive V8. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I can spin the ass end out if I really want to. So real quick, for those that are curious about the cryptocurrency stuff, I ended up shutting off the miner when I went to Florida with the family, and actually haven't turned it back on since, because I've been moving stuff around my office. So I'm going to have to extend that little idea about a week and a half out so I can get a full month's reading. But one thing that I did end up doing is I ended up selling some of my Bitcoin and buying some altcoins. Now, I already had LTC, but in addition to that, I ended up buying XRP, which is Ripple. And I ended up buying it around 75 cents, which I think as of today, it's about $3, or I think it actually dropped a little bit this morning, or really all cryptos dropped this morning. And it's kind of interesting because I basically took my profits from Bitcoin and bought a little bit of the Ripple, just kind of as an experiment, see what it's going to do. But it was really cool because I really am kind of just playing with free money at this point, aside from my initial investment that I put in back a few years ago, and then of course with LTC, which I've invested in. So it's been kind of interesting. I'm going to see how it performs over the next few months and then decide if I want to be long on it or bring it into something else. So in regards to the book challenge, which was to read 100 books in 2017, I ended up only getting to 26 books, which, on one side I could consider a failure, but on the other I still read about 2 books a month. The reality is I've read a lot more in the first half of the year and really just didn't keep up with it in the second half of the year, which was kind of unfortunate, but it just was the way things happened. I've decided that I'm doing it again this year, except that I've actually put together how I'm going to, basically do the challenge. And one of those is to do a written book once a week and an audiobook once a week. So kind of, I need to do about 2 books a week to hit 100. And I feel like if I'm driving like now, if I'm not shooting a video, of course, then I can do an audiobook and really, consume the content. And then if I'm, of course, sitting at home or office or whatever, I can read a book there. So I'm curious to hear from you guys, though. What is your reading goals for this year? What were your goals for last year? Did you hit them? How many books are you planning on reading? What types of books are you reading? So one of the things that I started off this year with was a fiction-based book called Ready Player One, which is becoming a movie, but it was a pretty popular book, or actually a very popular book. And one of my buddies, Dave, said, hey, you got to read this book. So when I was down with the family in Florida, I grabbed it up on the Kindle, and as far as it goes, I couldn't put it down. I just kept plowing through the chapters because it was really interesting. And I think for me what was really cool was it wasn't technology or business based. It was just some light, fun reading that also had a connection with video games and movies from like the 80s and 90s. So it kind of really resonated with the kind of stuff that I like, and it's just overall a really fun book to read. For my non-cold weather followers, you can see around me there's white stuff. This is what we call snow, and Boston got hit with it. It was about just under 2 feet of snow and what they called a bomb cyclone, which was essentially a snow hurricane. So for those warm weather climate people, this is how we live in the winter, which is to be said, we stay indoors for a lot of it. Right now it's about 33 degrees, but on Sunday morning at around 8 a.m. it was -5 before the wind chill. So I don't want to make this video too long, but one final thing that I want to give an update on is what my plans are for the channel this year. Now, I kind of alluded to it in the previous video, was it last week? And it was kind of funny because I spoke about how I want to get more consistent with the uploads, and then I didn't upload for a whole week. And part of the reason for that was because I was dealing with a lot of stuff business-wise. I have my SaaS-based startup that we're having some growing pains, and we're just kind of trying to work through our next steps. So I had to obviously focus my efforts on that, and unfortunately YouTube took a back seat. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm batching some of this content that people have asked about and I know is helpful to other people. You know, less of the in the moment, you know, here's a car event or that sort of thing, more business related, something I can plan. And then if I have a busy week like that, I can still upload 1 or 2 videos a week consistently. Because, you know, I mean, I want to grow the channel. My focus is not to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know, that would be great. Be able to buy more toys and have more fun. But, you know, I know there's a lot of channels out there that, you know, they say, yeah, I wish I had more subscribers because then I'd make more content. I never started this channel to get subscribers. I started this channel to help people with business and to play with cars. And really just for people out there that enjoy cars, want to see cool things, whether it's my car or my other friends' cars or events or whatever. It's just all around just to have fun. And that guy's making a U-turn on a one-way road. You know, so it's really just to have fun and enjoy doing it. So I never wanted it to be a job, and that's kind of where my head's at. And I know one of my YouTube friends, Daniel, actually went through this as well. You know, you get burnt out constantly creating content, and sometimes you're creating content that you're not even certain people want to see it. It's just, you know, I got to get a video out today or this week, and I don't want to do that. I want to focus on the quality and not the quantity, really, in anything that I do. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. Oops. The other thing that sucks about winter is gigantic snowbanks so that you can't see when you're pulling out in traffic. So bear with me a second. But V8 makes it, I guess, easier. And 3 years later, I still have that shit-eating grin every time you put the throttle down in this car. It's just a lot of fun. So as always, appreciate you guys checking out this content. I look forward to creating new content this year, having some fun, doing some new things. Like I said at the end of last year, I'm going to be more experience-based with things that I want to do with, you know, myself and my family. So there'll be content on that, and then above all, business-related stuff. You know, if you have any business questions, definitely leave a comment below. I love to create videos on questions that people have that are following me or just are curious. So definitely recommend that. And as always, please like this video, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.